Ann Cornick from Paint and Porcelain Exchange, and I'm here to teach beginners how to get started in China painting. For those of you that have been painting a while, hopefully give you some things to work on that you might want to paint along with us. Now, today we're going to be working on our sunflowers, and this is the sunflower that I actually got done and I took to the mall already. I took a picture of it so that I had it to show you. Everybody says, what is that in the middle there? The middle is color, just color. I just thought something different. Now, for those of you that haven't used my line drawings yet, you go to my website. The link is right there on the post, and you go right to the website. You pretend you're going to purchase it, but it's free. So you go through the purchase process, and it should come to you in an email as an attachment, and it will be an Adobe attachment, a PDF. So look for it, and then open it, and you will have a free line drawing so you can work on this with us. Alrighty, this is what it looked like after the first fire. And guess what? I painted it this way, right? Well, today I'm looking on the back, and there are holes up here. So it's painted upside down. So this will be an opportunity for you to see what I would do to change around. I mean, here, this is the way it's upside down. This is the top now, I found out. So you see some of these are going up like this. Well, I don't know that they would go up like that, so I'm going to make some adjustments to it. Colors we're going to use for today. But what we're going to use today is a bright yellow. So an egg will work, or a sunflower. That's my sunflower down there. Those kind of colors would work. The yellow orange, sometimes I use it, and if you have it, it's great, but you don't need it. You will need an orange of some sort. This is my South Brown. This is my dark orange. I love the South Brown from Paul White. You will also need a deep blue green, moss, a medium green of some sort. I have darkest green down here. Oh, over here, darkest green. And I have dove gray. I'm going to try to use dove gray to indicate some shadow leaves. So we'll see how it goes. Then I have all kinds of yellow browns and light and dark yellow browns on here. What else do I have on here? I think, and the rich brown right down here. So those are the colors we're actually going to be using. But you can have, as you see from my palette, any of these colors would work. You could use pecan instead of yellow brown. If you want to, and instead of orange, if you wanted like around the center here, you wanted to use it to give it more depth, that's fine. I want the X at the top because that is the top now. And as you see from before, I did not know that that was the top. So this should be pretty interesting. I'm going to start with my brush, which is, of course, my filbert. I love my filbert. I'm going to pull it up there a little. And I'm going to use darkest green and a deep blue green in the background. Now, I'm just going to kind of wash these colors in a little bit. In fact, here, let's do this. I think I want deep blue green. I'm just going to wash it over these back. Let's start with the back flowers first. These are the ones that are under everything. So I'm just going over everything that's in the background with deep blue green. I like washes a lot. First of all, for beginners, a wash is what I'm doing now. And a wash is a solid shade that you paint over everything. Well, and you may have to do it a little at a time. You can't always do all at once. So here, these are two of these, the petals from this flower that it bent back. And then some of these I'm going to try to fix. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. It smooths out your background. It also puts things in the background that you want in the background. My sun is now coming this way. So now I've taken and I put some turpentine on my brush. This brush is a little big. Let's take a smaller one. And I wiped it off really well. Let me pull this over so you can see what I do. I take my turpentine and I wipe it really, really well. Okay? Can you see that? Maybe if I move it up a little. Yeah. And I'm just going to start pulling off some of this color not all of it. And then as I go, I'm going to wipe it on my towel so that I get the color. I'm not pulling the color back on my piece. See, and it also helps you to soften it. And that will really help me put the highlights back in like where they should be. Let me pull this guy up a little. Okay. Then I might take a little egg. Oops, got to add a little oil. I'm using a smaller brush now, like a 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to add in some yellow to actually put that highlight back in. So if this has happened to you where you painted it upside down and you want to change it, the best way to do it is just to take your time and add back in the color that you want. And then I'm taking a little yellow brown. It's a little bit darker color. And I'm going on this side. So now the sun is coming from the top. So this is how you do it. You fake it. You layer it. And here. Okay. So now you see I've got the sun coming from the top on this guy. Now these are the two that cross over. I'm going to do the same thing using a yellow brown too. Taking my rich brown, side loading, and coming back and just touching in here to kind of give it a little more, set it back a little bit. Up. A little down here too. Okay. Now, you can also wash with a darker color like this to put things behind. And sometimes that's nice. This is a dark brown. And if I really wanted to wash with that, I could. A little bit at the base just to give it a little bit of shade. And then I'm going to take my turpentine again and just, after wiping it all off, I'm just going to go back and regain some of those highlights. Okay. Now that's in the background, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. I'm going to change over to my 3/4 inch brush now. And I'm going to keep working behind my main flower. So I'm going to go this way around and end up over here and see what we do. So I'm using darker colors now. This is my darkest green. Okay, there we go. Now these two are the same color back here. And I want one to be on top. I'm looking at these. I actually think this guy should be on top. So let's make this one a little darker. Here's a hint for you. Don't put your dark colors all next to each other because then you never know which color you're in. I'm going to take my turpentine again and wipe out the one that I want on top. There we go. Okay, that'll darkest green. I'm just going to go, oh, that's too dark. I'm just going to go over this and kind of try to enhance the edges a little bit. Now, this did not have a top on it. I drew it in up there because now that this is the top, I think I kind of need a top on that leaf. And pull it up. You can do that if you've picked a complementary background. You can adjust things, add things, subtract things, and go right over these petals. It really won't matter. And then I do want to bring this out on top, so I'm going to use, I like these. These are my stumps, and I'm going to use a stump there because look at how well it wipes out. It really wipes out well. And then I can wipe a little bit in this way and a little bit in this way. And it really brings it out on top, doesn't it? And here I can, yeah. If you have stumps, there's no, you can use erasers, but the stumps, because they're cardboard, they're wound cardboard, they really work, I think, the best for taking the paint off. And you use this, which is a I bought this. It's I don't know what kind of sandpaper. It's a very low grit sandpaper. Let me just do this over here so I'm not doing it on the, and you just sand it like this. You can buy them in all sizes. I bought a pack that had them. They're used for pastel blending. And this is how you clean them. And you just sand them until, and keep them at a point until they're all clean. And they come in a number of different sizes. So, you know, if you need to, you can get a different size. But I think this really helps. Okay, now what is this here? That's the leaf. Well, I don't want that to be a leaf. So I'm going to take that out there and wipe it away. Okay, that looks better, don't you think? And then this guy, excuse my stump. I'm just deciding where I want it. I may not get it all there, but I can decide where I want it and see how that works. This is going to be very interesting. Okie doke. Now we'll go back to using the filbert. This is like a size 16 filbert. And it works pretty well. And I'm just going to take some more deep blue green and start filling in the background. I'm just pulling the color in a little. Okay. Now you can add some dark green as well as you go along. Okay. I think I better start working on this flower here. I don't know how he's going to turn out. Let me see what I can do. So I'm going to take sunflower because it's a very bright color. Do a full load of sunflower. And then I might use a little pecan. And just, I think, yeah, see, if I use the pecan or even a rich brown, it's going to help me shape that petal into the green a little bit. You can't always do that, but you can certainly hope that you did it. And then I'm going to come back this way. Now that one I really can't save, so he's going to be a little odd. I guess there's nothing I can do about that. Alrighty. And then I'm just going to go around and add the yellow back on these. Just shape them a little bit. This guy needs to be on top here. So let's make that a petal. I'm going to take my yellow. Let me see if I can do this with this guy. Yellow. It doesn't really help it, does it? Okay, I'm going to try I'm going to take a little red and a little brown and see if that does it. There. And then I'm going to take a little brown and go around the base. This is not going to be as colorful as it was before because I need to make some changes to it. I'm also going to add a little green here to separate those. Okay. Up here, I don't want it to go to the sky like that, so I'm going to change it. Let it go more that direction. And then I will come back with my stump and sort of finish off the edges just so I know where they are. It's kind of like drawing. And now I have my my 1/4-inch brush, and I'm just going through and smoothing things so that you don't have the lines from the stump still there. This one, I want a little bit of highlight there. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Before we get to, I think before we get too far along, I'm going to decide what I want to do with the center. Now, I can leave it as is with the color in it, or I can go over it. And I'm going to side load and just go along the outside and see how that looks. All right, let's see what it looks like if I were to color it all in. Would the colors still come through? Do we like it better this way? Kind of looks like a big blob. I'm going to wipe some of the color out. I take my stump. Start going over it. You can wipe a stump off on your paper towel just like you can anything else. I'm going around like this just to give that center a little bit of an indent. I don't know. Don't know if I like it or not. And now I'm just coming in, side load of the brown. And I'm really starting to shape these leaves, these petals. And while originally I wanted them to be very colorful, and they are, I'm thinking that now, because I painted it upside down, I need to do some repair. I'm going to finish washing the outside with the blue. Getting pretty dark, isn't it? I like dark. This is a little dark, but this here is behind. And so it's going to be, I want it to go behind. And so I'm adding the dark to it. Now, there are other ways of doing this. But I quite frankly like this. Then I'm going to take this little guy, little sponge, and just lighten some of these colors on the one side so that the light looks like it's coming more from that side. Alrighty. I'm adding some yellow because we don't have enough yellow on this sunflower. It's supposed to be a sunflower. And it's missing some yellow. There we go. Let's add some yellow here. This is a side load of yellow that I'm adding. Oh, got into something there. There we go. That's much better. Side load of yellow. I want to extend these leaves, petals a little. Don't know if I can actually do that, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, now I'm going to take my liner, my scroller. I'm going to start separating these petals a little. I don't know if you remember, but when you did, I was going to use darkest green, but I'm using a mixture of darkest green and brown. I can make these less. Just trying to separate them a little. Okay. Going back with my little guy here just to give it a little, okay, that works a little better. Thin them out a little bit. Okay, and now I'm back to my 3/4 inch brush. Gonna wipe it off really well and start pulling out some of the highlights. There we go. Oops, this guy didn't get separated. Okay. Now let's work on this back guy before we get into the front guy. I'm going to use my smaller brush, my 1/4 inch. I'm going to put a little terp on it. And we're going to start, this is the way that the sun is coming, so we're going to start wiping these petals out down here. I'm just wiping out the side that would have the highlight. Okay, and now I'm going to go back and try to I just want to get rid of that line because the blue in the background kind of left a line on it. This guy's not cooperating there. And then I'm going to take some pecan and just do a little bit of damage control down here. This will give me back some of the shadow on the side it should be on. Yeah, I'm reversing everything. That makes it very difficult. I kind of liked how that brown looked there for a minute, like that. Too bright. It's fighting with the background. So we'll just, yeah, it's too, it stands out too much. There we go. And then these were leaves back here. So I'm going to try to reestablish the leaves. When I fired this, the kiln it worked fine, but for some reason, some of these just really came out weird. And so I'm trying to put the color back in them. I was very surprised when I took them out of the kiln. I'm doing a full load of light green and a side load of the dark green, just to try to get some of the color back down behind here. Oops, come here, you. Okay. And then I turn it this way and go for the point that was on the end. So, I don't have any pictures here, but this is what I'm going for. It's that area that was there, where the bud's just opening. I might even make that there. That is better. Making him a, so as you go through, you can change things. You can add things. You can make them different than they were. Should I make this a green instead of a... Okay, and then I had these, and they came out like this. Ah! Which side do we have the light on? This side. Okay. Ah. I can extend that down a little. There we go. This is still a little dark. We're going to lighten it up. So if you ever paint a picture upside down and then realize, oh my God, I painted it upside down, there are things you can do to kind of help it. All right, now I have some leaves back here. What I want to do is shape this side. Not quite that strongly. There we go. Okay, so now I'll go into my turpentine. And I'll just pull it around a little bit. And I'm going to add a little, I can add a little yellow and a little green here, just to give it a little There. Soften it a little. There. This is the top. This is the bottom now. I put these leaves down here. Everything's going the wrong direction. Of course, you could paint it this way and it would be fine. And because it's a tea tile, people don't need to use it that way. But I'm going to do one other thing. And I don't know what it'll do. I'm experimenting. I'm going to take a yellow orange that I have. I applied it with my filbert. And I want to take a little dove gray. And just hint at some shadow leaves. Wait, where are you? Orange, here we go. And then I'll tone it down a little. Just use the flip side of the brush. Maybe a little here as it's wearing off my brush. I don't want too much. There. And a little back in here. Here is yellow. That's actually kind of pretty, yellow. I think it really, this is a sunflower yellow. I think it really helps to add some brightness to it. Up. I'm just painting it all one color. I'm not doing anything fancy with it. Fancy got me into trouble. I think when I added the yellow, it really changed the look of it. And then I'm going to take my Q-tips and start cleaning up the little scroll work that's on here. And then you just go through and make sure there are no clumps there. Okay. Alrighty, let me pick this guy up if I can. Yeah, so this is what we ended up with. I don't think it's too bad. Might be a little bright for some people's taste, but I personally kind of like it. Pick up those brushes, keep painting, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.